Thank you very much for your warm welcome. It's my pleasure to be here and my great honor to be invited by UNESCO-IITE to speak a little bit about free education for open learning. I'm just coming from the global conference on open education that took place yesterday in Poland, in Krakow, and I can also share some first insights and news that were discussed during the last 3 days at the global conference on open education. But I would like to start with a short introduction. What does it mean, open education, as I don't know how much you're familiar with that. Of course, you can get the slides, you can find them also on SlideShare, you can use them, you can share them, you can reuse them according to that Creative Commons license. That is most important for us and also for you. Please also put always such a Creative Commons license on all your materials that you are publishing, that everybody knows how to reuse them in the future. We have done a lot of projects in the past, and I cannot talk about all of them, but you can see that there were also a lot in the fields of open education and research, and you can find it's tricky. You can find more information about that, these links here to the websites. Just a few words about my person. I'm with the Open University of the Netherlands. The Open University of the Netherlands is the second open university worldwide, and we started already in the 1980s as a second open university, and the first one that was and is only providing online education. We are located in the southeast of the Netherlands in a small city, and we are collaborating with all open universities, but also with other major key players in the fields of learning, education and training, with a special focus on technology-enhanced learning. And that is also including UNESCO-IITE, and we are very proud here to be here, that we can also strengthen our cooperation here with UNESCO-IITE. In addition, I'm also adjunct professor at the Green National Open University in Seoul, as well as advisory professor at the East China Normal University in Shanghai. I have established ICOR, and I'm also organizing an annual conference that is a link conference. You will hear about that in a few minutes. Okay, short overview. This is really running fast. I would like first to speak about what is open education, then why we need to change education, and maybe also need to change this device here. Why change in education? What is quality in education will be the next topic to speak about. How to improve quality and how to participate. That is a question to you. Let's start with what is open education. And before we can do that, we have to clarify what the term open education is standing for. And attention, now I have to ask you, what do you think? What is open education? Any idea? International education, yeah. Online education, and free education. Yeah, that's coming very close. And this is really a device. That is showing, your answers are showing that there is a lot of different aspects that we can use to define open education, but all of them are correct. And all of them are dealing with the topic openness and open education that is very broad, and you can have a lot of different definitions for them. I tried to give one of them, and this one is seen now here. Open education can be defined as innovations, that means true innovations for changing and opening up education and to improve the quality. And you can see in the end, the focus is on the quality. Everything is directed to quality, and I hope that I can convince you now during the next 2 minutes why it has to be. If you look at the waves of open education, then in the 1960s we have started with open classrooms, and also the first open universities, that were the Open University of the UK and the Open University of the Netherlands, were established. In the 1990s, the open education resources became popular, and that are resources that are marked with open license, like for example the Creative Commons license that I've shown you in the beginning. 10 years later, open online collaboration started due to the establishment of Web 2.0, and that was also leading to new open educational practices that were in the middle of the 2010s. And finally, we are now dealing with open educational environments. That is currently the new trend that we have to reflect on. I could speak now a lot, I don't know why this is that fast. There is only one button here, and I'm just putting this button. This button is not great for me. I could speak now for hours on the details on open education, and you can see here some slides about what was it in the beginning, open learning with progressive education, then the hype cycle, the hype of e-learning started, that was coming soon, then online cooperation started also with the introduction of MOOCs, and social media were now coming up. And then in 2010, our classroom were established, and the OER declaration was coming. That is the one from UNESCO in 2012, and this was a milestone for the development of. I'm not alone. Okay, then I can do it myself again. No, this is fine. Okay, and now we are back to open learning, and open learning environments that are also showing open methods, open policies, and the learner focus. And here we have got two major initiatives that were established. That is the Open Education Consortium, as well as ICOR, and the global conference in Krakow during the last 3 days was organized by the Open Education Consortium, and I was very happy also to share the workshop from ICOR and Open Education Consortium on the topic openness as default for the future of learning. But we have also to think about what happened in the past, because open education, that is not a new thing. We have a long tradition of open education, and you can see that already 3,000, 4,000 years ago, we had open discourses established as the methodology of open education by Confucius and Socrates. And 200 years ago, you can also see that there were progressive educational theories started with Pestalozzi and Humboldt, and leading also to the series of competence building from Piaget as well as Vygotsky, that is well known here in Russia. I don't have to tell you about him. Okay, if you distinguish between open education, we have to consider 3 different levels. At the macro level, we have policies and curricula. At the meso level, we have to deal with the organization and the design of open education. And at the micro level, we are addressing the learner and the course that he or she is taking. And the macro and the meso level, they are addressing the strategic and organizational objectives. That is most important also to start with them, because otherwise you're failing at the micro level. Okay, let me remind you we said open education, that are two innovations for changing and opening up education and to improve the quality. And I would like now to tell you why change in education is necessary. And we have, of course, the digital age. I don't have to tell you, if you go around here in the fair and looking at the hall, then you can see there is globalization and there is a huge impact by the worldwide internet that was introduced only 20 years ago. And that is leading to internationalization and to global competitions, but also opening up new opportunities. And the challenge now is how to address the future, how we can learn to learn, because we don't know what will happen in 5 or 10 years. And for that reason, the UNESCO has established, together with the United Nations, the Sustainable Development Goals. And you can see here the overview of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals as approved by the United Nations. And among the top 4, you can see that there is also education. It is very hard to make a priority list, but it is important to know that education is among the top 4, and I think there is a very good reason, because without education, we have a problem in the future with the future generation. And this is what the 4th Sustainable Development is about. It is about inclusiveness, inclusive quality education, and the question is how can we adapt it, and that is through OEP, and OEP that stands for Open Educational Practices. We have also to provide equitable quality education. How we can offer that, for example, by the using OER, that's standing for Open Education Resources. And of course, very important is quality education has to meet the quality standards and the quality levels. How can we improve that? For example, through a framework like IDEAL that I will present in a minute. And quality education for all, that means we have to deliver, and to deliver to all groups. And here open access is the most important, that everybody can gain access to quality education. This is leading us to learning changes and also learning challenges. And it is based on the change in the globalization, in the internationalization, that we have now to deal not only with knowledge but with competences. And we have to change from the input towards the outcome orientation. And that is meaning that in the future, we have to deal with tasks, with challenges in 10 years that we even don't know in our days. That's why it's so important to address key competences, not only to learn content, but key competences, how to deal with unknown situations and to solve them in the future. One example how we can address that is that we have to put quality in the core, and that we have to strive for the combination of the learner's needs, their reflections, as well as providing the right environment for them. And that is most important, that we are addressing the quality by meeting the learner's needs and the learning objectives that we have set up. There is no one way and no one solution for all, but we have always to adapt to the learner's need. That's why we have now to change education. That is a major task, and we have also to improve the quality in education to meet the future challenges. Let me now talk about, after the needs that we have to change education, what is quality in education? And let me first start with the definition of the term, as always. What is quality? And a simple experiment that you can also make Think about such tasty jelly beers. Imagine them, and please tell me, how would you define the quality of your favorite jelly beer? Any idea?
Sweet.
Juice? Sweet? Sugar? Chewing? Color? Okay, a lot of different answers again, and that's true. I can tell you my secret. My answer would also be very easy. That would be yellow, because I really prefer the flavor of citron, and the citrons ones are always yellow. That means even for food, it's not easy to define it, and it's even worse in the field of quality, but it is not only worse, it's also providing opportunities. Because quality in education cannot be defined by some simple sentences or by one definition. Except you take quality as a starting point and to define quality through your adaptation towards your own situation and towards the needs of the learners. Okay, let's come back to what is quality. Quality is most important for learning education. That is my key message that I would like to transfer to you. And if we start with quality, you may know the quality dimensions from Donabellian that he has established for quality management in healthcare system. Then you start with processes for developing the quality that are leading to results, but most important is also to consider the potential that you can achieve. Because if you only repeat the design and realization and delivery of education towards the quality, then you're missing the potential opportunities for changes, for new opportunities due to, for example, such dramatic societal change. And if we now transfer that theory into open education, then you can see we have also to address processes and results. And here we can also relate that to open education, that the processes are the practices that you are enabling in open education. The resources are the results that are the open education resources to be used and delivered in open education. And the strategy, that is how to define not only the vision, but also the future objectives for your open education. Okay, and let me also remind you, next to these three dimensions, open education has always to be a combination of the history, that means our experiences in learning, education, training, the innovation, that is, for example, also provided by new methodologies, by progressive education, but also by new technologies, and standards that are helping us as a framework, as guidelines, to facilitate, to meet the quality in open education. I said quality is most important, and I have also to add, it is also very important to have a so-called new pedagogy. You can see here the new pedagogy is in hyphens, and that is also most important to note, because there is no new pedagogy at all. Many people are claiming there is now a new theory, a new methodology in education, but that's not true. As I already shown you before, there are traditions of not only 100 or 200, but thousands of years, and open education is just transferring them into a new situation that is now the globalization and worldwide internet, but that is not changing the way how we are learning. Please keep in mind, The way how we are learning is still the same, because you can only learn by yourself. You cannot force anybody else to learn. It's a simple truth, but sometimes that is forgotten when we are talking about new technological trends and how technology is changing education. Technology is not changing education. Technology is providing new opportunities for new means. But education has still to address the learner's needs and has still to look how we can achieve high quality in education, and that is only guaranteed by fulfilling the learning objectives and to meeting the learner's needs. Okay, quality in education. I hope that I could make the point here and convince you that this is most important. And what I also like to stress is it's not only about quality in education, but we should also do that with fun. That is what I wanted to say. Because we should not forget it's also about motivation. How learners are engaged depends a lot how motivated they are. Okay, how to improve the quality is now the next question that I'd like to tackle. And you may still remember what I've said about the 3 different levels at the macro, meso and micro level. That is not me. Okay. Thank you. And if we transfer that to the quality facilitated by open education, then you have here the overview. At the micro level, we are dealing with the competence building and the community building. At the meso level, frameworks and standards can help a lot to facilitate quality in open education. And at the macro level, the movement from the grassroots, but also from international organizations like Open Education Consortium and ICO can do a lot, as well as strategies in your own organization. And I don't know about the timing. Can you give me a sign how many minutes we still have? If it's how many minutes are there?
No, just tell us where the next slide is and we'll make manually. Okay?
I was just wondering if you can show the video or not. Or, okay. Okay. That is just a short video what we can do and offer here in the fields of open education.
Research is academic education. We believe in co-creation. We not only conduct research on education, we do this with education.
If you can hear that.
With partners, we investigate real-world questions and problems in education.
I think it's hard to hear, that's why I will speak on that. And this is about our research institute. We are the leading one in Europe with 90 researchers focusing on technology-enhanced learning. But for us it's also important that we look on how learning is taking place.
We're also experts when it comes to professionalization.
And that is also focusing on the educators, that is the teachers, the lecturers, the professors that are important. And they need also the training and the professional development. And in technology, we are also doing a lot in exploring how the technology can be used as an instrument, as a means to support education.
National and international. We combine our expertise with years of experience from our own university, our partners, and our students in educational sciences.
That is our PhD student. He has won the prize for the most innovative PhD thesis during the last 5 years. That's a prize that is given only every 5 years. And we were very proud that he was selected. And from our research team.
Do you want to improve education? Don't know where to start. We're eager to tackle complex challenges. Together with you, we analyze your problem, investigate your practices, and make changes. So
And that is the key message. We can improve education together. We are very much interested in cooperating with you to collaborate, as we are already doing it a lot with UNESCO, IITE, that are also here presenting at the fair, and we are very happy to also contribute to that. And hopefully that will also leading not only to strengthen our bilateral collaboration together with UNESCO, IITE, but also with some of you in the future. You're most welcome for such a collaboration. And maybe you can go back to the slide where this video was introduced, then I will just wrap it up and tell you about some, thank you very much, some okay, here we are. Thank you. Just a reminder here, open education, we have the 3 levels, and we have on the micro level the learners and the courses, at the macro level organization, and at the macro level policies. Okay, that's fine. And for the quality, as a reminder, sorry, I have to do that. If you always do it, then I'm sorry. Okay. No, that's not working. You have tried that. Okay, at the micro level, competences and communities. Let me give a short overview what you can take and how you can support that. At the competence level, for the competence building, I'd like to introduce Lelle. Lelle, that is an initiative for learning how to learn, and the focus is on the inclusion of learning skills in the curricula, and that is addressing the key competence, and we are very proud that we are part of that together with leading European partners. For the competences, we have got PBL 3. We've got PBL 3, that is about problem-based learning. We are doing that together also with European partners, in particular also with the University of Aalborg, and we are now bringing problem-based learning into the fields of open and online learning, and that is also focusing the integration of learning analytics and semantics in problem-based learning. But highlighting, I'd like to do are 2 initiatives that are open discovery space and inspiring science education. We have done a lot of effort to bring together teachers from 28 European countries and to teach them and to train them how they can introduce e-learning into their schools. And we have now more than 3,000 schools that are committed and have developed a sustainable 1-year development plan. And this is a portal that you can go to with a lot of free and open online resources, more than 1 million open education resources you can find there. You have 800 communities in 15 languages, as well as an authoring environment to create your own lesson plans, as well as learning scenarios. And teachers love that very much because they can just download lesson plans from other teachers, but they can also use them and adapt them according to their needs, and that is saving them a lot. And in particular, that is bringing also new methodologies into practice, because this is something that you can directly use in your school. Okay, at the next level will be the meso level. What what kind of frameworks and standards do we have at the meso level. I'd like just to tell you about MOOC. This is about making MOOCs better, and if you are interested in that, we are developing a quality reference framework with indicators for the design and comparison of MOOCs. MOOCs that's standing for Massive Open Online Courses, and you're most welcome also to join this initiative that is open for everybody who are interested in open online courses with a massive audience.
Sorry, but your time is over.
Okay, thank you very much. Then let me just highlight standard ISO IC 1976 international standard. If you never heard about that, then please talk with me afterwards. And here you can find more information about international policies. As I mentioned, OER declaration by UNESCO is most important. We have strategies to deal with. We have the conference that is dealing with. And the international community, that is the one that I have introduced in the beginning for open research and open education. You're most welcome to join that. And yeah, I'd like just to finish here with a statement towards open learning. That is our invitation to you. Let us opening up learning education training for all. And if you're more interested in that topic, you can find here more slides that will be on SlideShare, but you can also find a lot of references here also in Russian, and here are the contact details. Let us connect. Thank you very much, and I appreciate your attention and your questions. Thank you.